Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Monday, October 3rd. I'm your host, Kate Walker. An investigation is underway after an unsanctioned Dalhousie homecoming party flooded a residential neighborhood near the university, resulting in several arrests and injuries. The chaos was caught on camera Saturday night in a replay of events that took place on the same Halifax streets a year ago. An unofficial homecoming party of 3,000 to 4,000 people gathered on the block bordered by Larch, Preston, and Jennings streets, just north of Coburg Road. Police say participants climbed poles and trees and set off fireworks in the crowd while fights broke out. Police using pepper spray and force to make arrests was caught on camera in what police called a high level of resistance when trying to disperse the crowd. One man suffered injuries after he was stabbed. Emergency crews were not able to get to the victim due to the crowd or a fire that was set in the street using downed branches from the storm. It took a couple of hours for the crowd to be dispersed by police, who made several arrests and issued dozens of summary offense tickets. Coming up, a response from the Dalhousie Student Union president in conversation with Sheldon McLeod. The community is rallying around a man who was attacked at his convenience store last week in Dartmouth. Over the past month, Camille and Silva Safatli have been the target of 3 robberies and racist comments at their family store of 13 years, Jake's Variety on Portland Street. Silva says this past Thursday around 7:40 a.m., a man who was a regular at the store jumped Camille from behind and attacked him, hurling racist insults.
He attacked him in the back, hit him in the head a couple times. He dropped him on the floor. I heard him from upstairs. I ran down like crazy, tried to pull the guy away from my husband.
She said they had been giving that man free food and coffee for the past year. They suspect he has mental health challenges and is homeless, and that he had been asking people in the neighborhood for money.
Like the police arrived, they took him and they arrested him. And they took my husband to the hospital because he had a really back and a neck injury, like concussion. And he hit him on the ribs really hard and on his face. But thank God he's okay. He's home, he's back, and he's recovering.
A GoFundMe page was set up for the family and has since raised over $5,000. Silva says the support has been enough for her to want to stay.
That morning, I told my husband, I want to leave this. Like, I'm shivering. I don't want to leave this. I want to be gone. But after what I've been seeing from this community, I don't want to leave here. This town is like a family to us. They love us, they care about us. They've been coming in every single day, checking, bringing us food, bringing us presents, flowers, chocolate.
A spokesman for the Halifax Regional Police said the 58-year-old man arrested at the scene was charged with assault causing bodily harm. A municipal bylaw in the works would force corner stores in residential areas in HRM to shut their doors by 11 p.m. The proposed bylaw, which would limit convenience stores in residential zones to be open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., passed its first reading at Halifax Regional Council on Thursday. Councillors say some of the businesses that stay open late have resulted in complaints lodged by nearby residents about the noise. The 2 corner stores across the street from one another at the intersection of Jubilee Road and Preston Street in Halifax are popular spots for university students to grab a late-night slice of pizza. Those were part of conversations on social media about whether or not they would close early. It's been met with mixed reviews and controversy from shift workers who often use late night spots to eat after work or grab a few groceries. The staff report presented to council noted operating revenue loss may be as high as 10% of daily revenues. It noted, however, the potential bylaw would only result in 5 businesses having to change their hours. The businesses were not named. Council will visit the second reading of the bylaw next month, and if it's passed, it will come into effect within 2 weeks of the second reading, if not sooner. Next to a special reunion in Yarmouth County. In 2003, a 4-year-old boy went missing in Pubnico until he was found by a man working with the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association. Now, 19 years later, a second search was launched to reunite the searcher and the little boy, who's now a young man. SaltWire's Tina Camo has that story.
In June 2003, Yarmouth County resident Cliff Gable was a military-trained spotter with CASERA, the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, who, with other searchers, were called in to look for a missing 4-year-old boy in Pubnico. After around 7 hours of searching, Justin Harry was found after Gable spotted the little boy and the neighbor's dog, Okie, who had stayed by the boy's side while he was missing. It meant so much to Gable to have found Justin then that in recent years he launched a second search for the boy, who is now a young man. They've since reconnected and have a special bond and friendship, as Gable also has with Justin's father, Joe.
Our motto is that others may live, and that in itself said it all. To find him that day meant that I had accomplished what I had trained for. 18 years later, I find that same little boy who is now a young man, twice my size, and we have become really good friends, and it went full circle.
It meant the world to me. And I consider Cliff this family.
Thanks for your service.
And my pleasure. And my pleasure. I couldn't have scripted a better ending to something that meant so much to me at the time.
This is Tina Camo, reporting for SaltWire Network in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Dalhousie Student Union President Aparna Moham.
And what is it that you want Nova Scotians and Haligonians to know about what happened Saturday night?
First and foremost, what happened Saturday night was absolutely unacceptable and a demonstration of so much disruption and disrespect to the community. And that piece is not at all lost on us, as we also recognize that there's three different layers to all of this, right? Like there's the legal aspect of it, there's the moral aspect of it, and then there's the practical aspect of it. And we've spent the last several years talking about the street party being illegal and immoral because it is inconsiderate of the community. But repeatedly emphasizing that message hasn't seemed to have worked. We still saw this party happen in the middle of a pandemic. And given that this has become predictable, this has become a little bit more, has taken more shape, you know, like we're able to tell and predict certain characteristics of the party. What happened this weekend really felt like a collective policy failure on the part of Dal as well as the city, you know.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of saltwire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
And with that, the week's U18 Major Hockey Club wins a game in Halifax for the first time since 2012. Joining me is their head coach, Kyle McLennan. Coach, how did it happen?
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. We kind of checked on that on Sunday. I knew it's been a while, especially since I've been around, that we've haven't won a game in that building. And, a couple close calls, couple overtime games that we got on the wrong side of. And anytime we've had win success, it's been on home ice. So, we had our people kind of check in on it, and it turned out it was a lot longer than I had thought.
Because of Hurricane Fiona coming through this region and the damage that it did, this was actually a home game because of some of the scheduling adjustments. Do you feel that maybe in the back of your mind, knowing that you were the home team, even though it was in Halifax, may have played a little bit of a role?
Maybe that's an answer we'll never know, but maybe wearing the whites on the road is a good thing here and there. But you know what? I just think that probably played into it as well in terms of our week.
The next home game for the Weeks is this Saturday at home, 4 p.m. puck drop versus the Sydney Mitsubishi Rush. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Weeks get another one, 2-0 Weeks, 13-20 left.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now to see what's coming up in the forecast. We're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, it was a chilly start this morning, probably the chilliest start so far this fall season. It was 0 at the airport, closer to 5 in the city, and of course we did have some widespread frost. We have a similar morning that will be shaping up on our Tuesday, and then temperatures do start to rise as we progress throughout the week. This evening it will be clearer, and we'll see the temperature falling down to 7 degrees by the mid to late evening, but a frost advisory is in effect once again overnight into Tuesday morning. We start near 0 for inland low-lying locations, generally around 2 to 3 degrees otherwise, but 5 directly along parts of the coast, mainly sunny. As we go into the afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud will head up to a high of about 15 degrees, so not a bad day overall. Our daytime highs and overnight lows will continue to rise as the work week progresses. Now, we do have some wet weather to talk about in the forecast. The remnants of Hurricane Ian, of course, no longer a hurricane, but the remnants likely to bring some shower chances into the forecast as we go Wednesday and Thursday. That will also allow temperatures to rise, but this is post-tropical remnants. No significant rain or wind associated with this system, thankfully. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to SaltWire.com. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at SaltWire Today. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.